Welcome everybody, Trainwreck Podcast, episode 27, 28, something like that. Thank you guys for supporting the podcast last week. We had a very good view week, and one of us is 1 year older.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, Drew. I'll give you your spankings later.
Oh yeah, all 24 of them.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. But one of us also went to WWE SmackDown this past Friday, uploaded some entrances on my channel if you guys saw those. Thank you to the people that subscribed from those videos. This is my face. If this is the first time you're seeing me, instead of hearing me go crazy for John Cena and Roman Reigns, definitely got my fanboy on. But a very good episode of SmackDown. Started off with John Cena and Roman Reigns in the ring, just they're always going to be linked together as the past and the present, and it was cool to see them in the ring. And then John Cena continues his association with LA Knight, and looks like LA Knight's going to be the next challenger for Roman Reigns. And I mean, there were so many signs in the crowd with, yeah, and let me talk to you, all of LA Knight's catchphrases. I mean, the dude is legitimately over. And you have your top good guy versus your top bad guy, which is all you can ask for in wrestling.
Yeah, it's gonna be if they do come up with that match, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. I could definitely see the bloodline taking out LA Knight, and then AJ Styles faces Roman Reigns at Saudi Arabia, and then maybe LA Knight faces him at the next pay-per-view, maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be a interesting time because there's a bunch of opponents that Roman Reigns could potentially face before WrestleMania, or it looks like he's gonna fight Cody Rhodes again. Because man, that stare off they had on SmackDown on Friday, I mean, it was cool in person, but it was even cooler on TV. Just the way they were staring at each other, and it just kind of looked like they both hated each other, like
yeah.
kind of like Cody's low, and like it's like he's seeing the ghost from his past, the guy that beat him at WrestleMania. And even still, like, even though Roman beat Cody Rhodes, he beat him in a very cheap way.
Like
And
a
it's
very
like,
bloodline way.
yeah. And so now Roman is still scared because he thinks Cody is probably the best shot to beat him. Because out of everyone that Roman has faced, Cody's probably been the one closest to beating him. This stare off right here was just cool. And Nick Aldis made his debut. You can see this dude photoshopped his face in there. But Nick Aldis, for former NWA world champion, actually, one of his runs with the belt, he lost it to Cody Rhodes at the first All In show back in like 2018. They had a really good match. Nick Aldis, he also got a very good reception in Tulsa. And it's interesting now that both brands have distinct general managers. Maybe that means we're going to have a better brand split without the crossover, or maybe more potential for trades. Speaking of trades, Kevin Owens is now on SmackDown, breaking up him and Sami Zayn, which I thought was a very shocking move.
Shocking, but good for both of them.
Yeah. All I think is, it's like, who is Kevin Owens going to face? Because he's already faced Roman a couple times and has lost every single time.
Yeah, that's it's AJ's back down.
Yeah.
I could see him facing AJ.
Yeah, that'd definitely be interesting if Kevin Owens could get like his own group together, and then they could take on the OC. That'd be uh that'd be interesting. And then on Monday
Yeah,
Night Raw, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
And then on Monday Night Raw in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Judgment Day win back the WWE Tag Team Championships over Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. So now that Jay and Cody aren't the champions anymore, they are supposed to not be able to go on SmackDown, which is very interesting that they had that stare off, and now Cody can't even go on the show. But in the grand scheme of things with the story, it makes sense that Roman would make Jimmy cost them the titles because he doesn't want them to come back on his show.
Yeah, big feel of that rivalry.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like, there's a bunch of avenues they can go to for Survivor Series, and I don't know how it's going to play out yet, but I'm very interested.
Yeah, Survivor Series is probably gonna be the better ones. It's had recent memory.
Yeah. I mean, last year was really good with war games, but the last couple years before that, it was the brand versus brand stuff with matches that didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one thing I was actually expecting Triple H to announce during that show was War Games, but he did not. So I wonder if we're going to get that this year at Survivor Series.
Maybe.
But until Zach gets in here, I guess we can talk about some football. Drew, I am sorry for picking against your guys' Raiders.
To be honest, I don't blame you. But we would expect Bill Belichick being that washed, losing to Josh McDaniel.
Bill has never beat McDaniels. He's 0-3 against him.
Are you serious? That's a stat?
Yeah, he lost to him when McDaniels was the head coach in Denver. He lost to him last year when Chandler Jones returned that lateral and
Oh
lost to him
yeah.
this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
But
Josh McDaniels has Bill Belichick's numbers.
I wish I would have known that last week when we were making our picks. I didn't hear about that till like the day after. And I was like, shit, I wish I could go back and change my pick.
But unfortunately, with that game, Jimmy G hurt his back, and he's gonna be out for a couple of weeks probably.
Yeah, so what do you think? Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell?
Definitely O'Connell.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not sure. I'm not trusting Hoyer's noodle arm.
Yeah. I mean, O'Connell, he just got the shit kicked out of him in that game against the Chargers. So if your guys' O
Yeah,
line, which your guys' O line sucks, but if they can at least give him somewhat protection, I have a lot more confidence of O'Connell
the
that he won't
Chargers
be.
suck, but same time they have a good defense, and
Yeah.
going to a rookie quarterback in there, they're going to struggle.
Well, they got a good front line, like their secondary sucks. But like, we got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. I mean, Mack, got what, 6 sacks against O'Connell, and then they just had 5 sacks last night against the Cowboys.
I mean, if there's going to be a game to put O'Connell back in, it's going to be the Raiders, the Bears, so it's coming up.
Is that who you guys are
That'd be a
facing?
yeah,
Mm,
that'd be a perfect game for him to pretty much get some starting reps,
mm.
and then take him out of the fucking next game, the Lions. Let Hoyer deal with the massacre.
Yeah, especially the Bears are going to be even more in the toilet bowl because Justin Fields is now hurt, and I don't know who the hell that backup was, but he was awful.
I just feel bad for Bill. It's like I think that organization just fucked him over. He's basically an RG3.
Yeah, but then again, they've also tried to give him weapons. They gave him DJ Moore. They've tried to help him, and he's also been inconsistent.
Yeah,
But their head coach is also a fucking dumbass.
their coaching staff in general,
Yeah. They're either incompetent or freaking pedophiles.
or both.
Because, yeah, because you read about that dude, their defensive coordinator, right? How he was under,
Yeah,
yeah, federal investigation for child pornography and stuff like that.
yeah, CP. Yeah,
Hmm. But this week I will not be playing Post Malone. One, because it got me a copyright strike, but two, the Dallas Cowboys pick up a win against the LA Chargers in a freaking nuts game. Sean Hockley, your ref crew is still the worst in the NFL. I hate you. You were nowhere close to your dad. He was actually a good ref. But Dak Prescott put the Cowboys on his back last night. The only incompletions that dude had was throwing to Michael Gallup. And that, and then he had one throwing to Tony Pollard. And that, anytime he threw to Brandon Cooks or CeeDee Lamb or Jake Ferguson, completion. Yeah, Dak Prescott, he had a terrible game against the 49ers, but that was more of a whole team that sucked, not just him. But we could not get the running game going. And a lot of those big pass plays was because of Dak extending the play with his legs. Because the O line was definitely terrible. They let up 4 or 5 sacks. There was plenty of times where Dak had to scramble. The O line is nowhere near what it once was. You
Yeah.
got Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. They're both older guys. Terrence Steele is a freaking dumbass. Biotish is good. And Tyler Smith's still in his second year. He's still learning. Plus, he's playing a position I don't think he's ever played before in left guard.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's hard for anybody to play at a new position.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy, I still don't like his play calling, but I feel like if we would have had Kellen Moore last night, we would have lost. And we know that because on the opposite sideline was Kellen Moore, the former offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and he did not call a good game at all. Justin Herbert didn't have the best game. He missed some throws, but Kellen Moore also didn't do him any favors.
Yeah.
And I went on a rant last week about Micah Parsons, and I still think he's an immature brat. But the dude stepped up and got us a sack when we needed one. And I mean, that threw the Chargers off because, if you're going to take a sack, you immediately want to call a timeout to regroup, because something's wrong with your protection or something's wrong with your routes, because you couldn't get the ball off quick. Well, the Chargers weren't able to do that because Brandon Staley's an idiot and used the timeouts ahead of the 2-minute warning. So then Herbert takes that sack, and they weren't able to call a timeout to regroup, and they couldn't really spike it because it was third down. And so then on the next play, after immediately getting popped, pressure comes again, and he has to get rid of it quick. And that's when Stephon Gilmore made the interception and won the game for the Cowboys. The two guys that we traded for in the offseason, Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, very, very key players for us last night.
Brandon Cooks had a good game last night.
Yeah, he had a few catches, a touchdown. He was pretty good last night. And then Stephon Gilmore got the interception to clutch it.
Yes, Stephon Gilmore is always clutch.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Cooks, 4 catches, 36 yards, and one touchdown.
So I want to point
CD's.
something out with between the Raiders and the Patriots, but just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The last two times we faced each other, one of our defense men pretty much fucked it over the Patriots.
Really?
Against Max Crosby, sack safety, and then Chandler Jones, recover fumble.
Dude, Max Crosby is one of the best players that no one ever talks about.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah. Crosby, I think, I would love to have him on the Cowboys. You mix him up with DeMarcus Lawrence and Parsons and Osa Odigizua, who had a really good game for the Cowboys last night. I mean, that line would be unstoppable.
Yeah, he's like an unstoppable motor. He's a good leader for the defense. And once he starts going, he ain't stopping.
He's only 26 too, and let's see, he's got 43 sacks. I mean, he's definitely got a chance to break the 100 mark and be up there, as one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, he reminds me of Khalil Mack when he was with the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. See, 3 forced fumbles last year, 4 his rookie year. He's only been in the league for 5 years. He's already got 5.5 sacks for this season through 6 games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like a fourth rounder, I think he was. And a step up from a massive injury we had back when he was a rookie. We definitely got a key player out of that.
Fourth round pick, the 106th pick overall in the 2019 draft. Let's see. Let's look at that draft in the fourth round. Anybody else good come out of there? Let's see, in that round, he is the only Pro Bowler. No, Tony Pollard.
I'll tell you forward.
Yeah, Tony Pollard was 128th overall pick. Oh, damn. And then guess this guy plays for the Raiders, 2019 draft, fifth round pick, and he's a Pro Bowler. Who do you think that was,
Is
Drew?
he a safety?
No, on the offensive side.
Oh, Renfro?
Yep. Man, this draft class doesn't seem like that long ago, but it actually is in like the
I
grand scheme of
know.
things. And then the next Pro Bowler after him is Bailey, who is a punter for the Patriots. Or actually, now he plays for the Dolphins. He was drafted by the Patriots.
Oh, that's the Gardner Minshew draft too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the sixth rounder in that draft.
And there's a bunch of good players in this draft. You got Renfro, you got Matt Gay, Tony
Yo, I
Pollard.
need to get a Minshew jersey.
Minch- it sucks they lost to Jacksonville, though.
I know, but
I was really,
I'm gonna try to find a way to get his Jaguar one.
yeah. He didn't have a good game against Jacksonville, which sucks
I
because
know.
I was rooting for him. Dawson Knox, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf, McCole Hardman, Miles Sanders, AJ Brown, Elgin Jenkins, Debo Samuel, Josh Jacobs, Jeffrey Simmons, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Chris Lindstrom, TJ Hawkinson, Josh Allen, Devin White, Quentin Williams, Nick Bosa, Kyler Murray, all the Pro Bowlers from the 2019 draft. There's a bunch of good talent in that draft.
Yeah, but our fucking first round pick was Clean Farrell. And know how that turned out. He's fucking not with the Raiders anymore.
Let's see, did we? Oh, yeah, we didn't have a first round pick in that draft. Oh, that's when we traded you guys that pick for Amari Cooper.
Was it? Is that the year we got Josh Jacobs too? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah. Jacobs was the,
24th pick.
yeah. And then you guys got Abram at 27. God, after Hollywood Brown, well, there's Montez Sweat. But after Sweat, it's a whole bunch of bums.
God, we should have drafted Ed Oliver.
But one quick thing before we move on to our next call is a little bit of financial advice I'm going to give the people of this podcast, our fans. And I texted you and Zach about it the other day, but y'all buy some TKO stock right now. So it is right now, it closed at $79.87 a share. Now it was at $100 a couple months ago. It's definitely taken a downturn, but with the merger and then all the Vince McMahon stuff, that's kind of what was expected was for the stock to kind of go down. And especially after the merger, and then Vince has not helped at all. But you got John Jones fighting here in a few weeks. You got UFC 300 here in a few months. You got WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, and then WWE is also going to get their new TV rights deal for Raw and NXT. So TKO is about to have a lot of money coming in. Plus, I think they also own a talent agency. So once movies start getting made, they'll begin residuals from the actors that are signed to their talent company. Also, so they're about to have a lot of money coming in, and I think their stock is gonna. I think it has a potential to get to like $120, but I definitely think it's going to get back to 100. So, little financial advice for everybody. I'm not a qualified stockbroker or anything. This is just what I'm telling you. This is what I did. You don't have to take this advice, and I'm not saying it's a guaranteed. It could go down to zero for all I know. But I definitely recommend if you want to make a little bit of money. And that's just something I wanted to bring to everyone's attention because I mean, every website I was reading was saying buy, buy, buy. And, like, I don't know about people with savings accounts, but I know interest rates, it could be a high interest rate and you still won't get a lot of money off this. So, like, with this, I took some money that was out of my savings account. And if this gets to $100, I'll make more money off this than when just trying to get it off interest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that or it could backfire. But if it gets below a certain amount, I'll sell my ass off and I'll make up for it with some podcast sponsorship money. So if anybody wants to sponsor us, we will sponsor anything. Fleshlights, dildos. If you run a hentai website, our buddy Adam will do the ad read for free.
We'll probably get his ass back on the show at that point.
Yeah, I know. Dude, one of these days we'll do like a whole, and it'll have to be after football season, but do like a whole anime episode and just let him go off on like a week where I don't feel like doing anything. I'll just be like, okay, Adam, you can talk, and I'll just sit here and hit record.
Start telling him it's like, oh, this particular anyways is fucking dog shit. And he gets fucking triggered.
Dude, I had to mute the group chat the other day when y'all were spamming, talking about whatever anime you were talking about.
Oh yeah. I forgot what it was.
I don't remember either, but I was trying to sleep and my phone was going da ding, da ding, da ding, da ding. And I was like, I'm about to leave this freaking thing. So then I hit mute for 12 hours. And then like the next day, I was like, man, the group chat hasn't ring for a while, and I realized I still had it muted. But
Yeah, man, those boys are quiet for some reason.
yeah, no, I'm like, it's the middle of the day. This is usually when they're spamming with freaking porn.
True.
But I'm like, hell, I need to steal some memes for y'all because they're good conversation starters with women. Well, some of them.
I don't know. Yeah, some shit we share. We probably
Yeah,
should let her ass in jail.
yeah. I know that is the one fear with my YouTube channel growing is like something we said on here, or one day somebody's gonna hack my Facebook or something, and they're just gonna see the group chat, and I'm just like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to defend that one other than like I never put shit in there.
Got my ass.
Yeah. No, you on the other hand, you're fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But Adam probably the most fucked out of all of us. Curtis actually probably the least fucked.
I don't know. The shit he shares on there sometimes. It's kind of worse than being Adam.
Yeah. Dude, I just wonder sometimes if other people's group chats are as raunchy as ours.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, like, 'cause I'm in other group chats other than ours, and they're not like that. But then again, I've also talked to one of my friends where they like openly have like naked pictures of each other in their group chats. So
Oh God.
yeah, so at least yeah, the closest thing we have to nudes in our group chats is our hairy chest.
Yeah, me posting my titties every once in a while.
Yeah. I know I'm trying to get rid of mine. I've been hitting the gym this week. Finally bit the bullet and bought a Plant Fitness gym membership.
I've been thinking about go to the gym as well.
Oh, dude, hit me up on one of these off days. We'll do a podcast live from the gym. Just bring my laptop and we'll set it up on like a treadmill. I'd have to buy a splitter because we ain't sharing a microphone. I don't even know if they would let us do that.
Well, probably not.
Hell, they don't even make it convenient for you to put your phone on like the elliptical. Like my phone would not fit on there. I had to like kind of like put it on the ground because one thing that like helps with like working out is if I'm like watching something.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, they didn't have like anywhere for me to put my phone. So I kind of like put it on the ground and like I was watching Naruto while I did like a mile on the elliptical.
Are you sure it's Naruto or is this me in the shower?
It was Naruto. No, I ain't running with a boner. I was wearing cargo shorts. You know how comfortable that would have been.
Lifting weights with your boner.
Yeah. Be like, hey, I gotta go to the locker room real quick. I just go in the shower, pull the curtain. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I got done my pre-workout.
Yeah. It'd be like that episode of South Park with Butter's creamy goo.
Oh
You ever seen
God.
that? Where Tom
Yeah.
Brady was drinking it and he's like chugging it.
Yeah.
That's one of the best episodes of South Park.
Fuck you, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh my God, that episode so makes me want to watch South Park now.
The South Park's so underrated.
I know. I don't get see going back to Adam. You remember that episode we did where he said South Park was retarded? It's like how that's one of the greatest shows. Like it's seriously a top three show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and it's still like it's not like Family Guy or American Dad where it's not as funny anymore. South Park's probably as funniest it's ever been.
I know, especially when War Pit happens. Oh my God, they're on it.
Hey guys, Cody here. This is your reminder if you're enjoying the podcast to please leave a review on Spotify or Apple, whatever you are listening on. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a like on the video. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the show. Oh, like I don't get why people were giving that lady shit for being a fan of a team.
The Chargers don't have no fans.
Yeah. I'm like, if anything, people should be like, this woman is freaking amazing. She's sticking with the Chargers even though they suck.
I mean, Jesus, who wants to be a Chargers fan?
But hell, we all make that same face rooting for our teams. We're all shaking and going, gritting our teeth. I do that in a Cowboys game where we're up by 30. That's what being a fan's about. I and like I said, people are like, "Oh, she's an actor." It's like she ain't a fucking. These people that think the NFL is like some giant conspiracy script writing thing are fucking stupid. All because Arian Foster, who's fucking retarded as fuck, said it once on a podcast. That's one motherfucker out of over 10,000 people that have been in the NFL. And
I
y'all are
can't
going to
believe
be,
people think the NFL scripted.
yeah. It's not like, yeah. Like the NFL is not WWE people. And if you think it is, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
Go fucking put your tinfoil hats away. It's not scripted.
yeah. Like I said, ever since Arian Foster did that, podcast, people have been like, "Oh, the NFL scripted," even though it's a dude like Arian Foster is like really big into like conspiracy theories and shit like that. Like the dude's just fucking nuts.
I used to like Arian Foster as a player, but I heard I was like, brother, come on.
Yeah, like I really liked him on the Texans, and after that he fell off. And yeah, he's just a fucking idiot.
So he fell off and you think that was scripted. That just makes it believe he's more of a system running back.
Yeah, hell, it made for a lot of great memes.
Yeah, true.
Speaking of scripted sports, back to the world of wrestling. Did you see Tony Khan losing his mind? Well, we kind of talked about it last week. Him, going on Twitter calling Triple H and Shawn Michaels bald assholes and being like, "Oh, you're being a dick" for them loading up the show against Dynamite.
Yeah,
Did you see him losing his mind after that?
I did not.
So he said, "Here's the tweet," and it's still up. This week, two active decade long rating streaks from two great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head to head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA, neither John Cena nor The Undertaker had been on a WWE show with under a million total viewers plus under 400K in the demo. What's that say about AEW, though, that show still beat them in the ratings? And John Cena and The Undertaker it wasn't like they were on Raw or SmackDown. They were on a show for people that are in wrestling school.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like it's like he's going like checkmate, got him, and all it did was just make him look like a fucking clown. And then I don't remember who put out the tweet, but whoever it is, you're awesome, said up until this week, Edge had never been on a show with under a million viewers until this week when he was on Dynamite. Because yeah, what goes around comes around. Like you think, like Edge is he's not on the same level as John Cena and The Undertaker, but he's on like the level below that. He's still a big enough name to be a ratings draw. And look what happened with AEW.
it's becoming a new TNA.
Yeah, it's coming the new WCW.
Yeah.
I say like Tony Khan, like that's the reason I can't get behind AEW is Tony Khan. I mean Vince is a fucking asshole, but Tony Khan just seems like an immature brat and he's in his fucking 40s.
Yeah,
Like
take advantage of his daddy's money.
yeah, like Vince McMahon wouldn't be sliding into fans' DMs, talking about a tweet that somebody put out. Hell, I don't even think Vince uses his Twitter. So he pays somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's just a bunch of shit with Tony Khan where I'm just like, God, dude, it makes it impossible to root for you. Makes me want to root against the Jags too, which
Yeah, now
sucks.
I think about it. They've been immature assholes. Kind of gonna ruin Jacksonville's marketing.
Yeah,
Or again, like ad deals and fucking getting players.
Jacksonville ruins their own marketing by sucking though.
Yeah, but they're probably like the more recognizable team around the world.
Yeah, especially since they go over to London every year
Yeah. Probably between them and the Steelers and the Patriots
and
and
the
Tampa Bay for
Cowboys.
some reason.
Yeah, and the Cowboys.
Yeah, every team Tom Brady's been in and Cowboys.
But all right, we're gonna go ahead and hop into NFL predictions because I'm out of stuff on my notepad. Zach might be dead. Who knows? If he is, we'll do a memorial show for him next month or next week. Just kidding. I mean, we started the show 30 minutes earlier than we usually do, so didn't give him that much of a heads up. But I also didn't want to stay up late editing tonight.
True.
So if he joins us in the middle of this, we'll restart. If not, I'll get his predictions from him later. That way we can keep the streak going. But Drew and myself also, we, excuse me, Drew and myself, we finished with a 7-7 record for this past week's games. That makes Drew now 39-32, and I am now 41-30. Week 7 NFL predictions. There is a bunch of teams on bye weeks this week, so we are not going to have many games to predict. Cincinnati, Dallas, Tennessee, the Jets, Carolina, and Houston are all on bye weeks this week.
I just want to apologize to Jets fans going against you
Oh yeah,
right
man.
now.
Thank you guys for beating the crap out of the Eagles.
Now me and Cody has to get a Zach Wilson jersey.
Or I'll get a tattoo of his face on my ass.
Like that one picture said Zach Daddy Wilson.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, my mom's single, ready to mingle. She's gonna kill me if she ever hears that. But week 7, Thursday night football, Jacksonville at New Orleans. This is gonna be an interesting game right here.
I know there's actually one of the better ones Thursday games.
Yeah. I think I gotta roll with Jacksonville just because they're the better team. And New Orleans just lost to the Texans, which that's not really a bad thing now. The Texans are actually a lot better than they've been in recent years past. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with Jacksonville here just because I think Trevor Lawrence does better on like shorter weeks. They the some of the Thursday games he's played, he's actually turned out some pretty good performances. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I'm rolling with Jacksonville.
These teams are so identical. I'm going to roll with New Orleans. I think they have a better talent than Jacksonville, but even though they're so goddamn identical.
I mean, Calvin Ridley really needs to step up for Jacksonville. He has not
Yeah,
had a good game since week 1. He had one catch for 30 yards a couple weeks ago in London and a touchdown. But other than that, like he hasn't had good production. Speaking of production, though, I think Michael Thomas, he's been averaging 4 or 5 catches a game. This might finally be the game where he scores. Anyway, I'm sorry for picking against y'all. against New England last week. So yeah, I'm picking y'all to beat Chicago because New England sucks, but Chicago is horrible, and it looks like they're not going to have Justin Fields for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I honestly didn't blame you fucking picking New England, but we didn't expect Bill Belichick being that washed. It's like it was 2 games, like I mentioned earlier, like our defensive ends fucked them over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I mentioned earlier, this would be a good game for Aiden O'Connor to play because Chicago just suck, and our offensive line can actually get pretty much hold up their games against Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird to say. I think it's gonna be Las Vegas. I think it's gonna be our first 30-point game.
That be a good time for it, and man, you guys got to get Josh Jacobs rolling. I know
We
he
gotta
does
get
better later
Josh
in
Jacobs
this.
going. Max Crosby's gonna have to eat that second stringer up. If I
Yeah,
don't give a bold prediction real
Mhm.
quick, I think we're going to see Atari Wilson's first sack.
What position does he play?
The end.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna get against somebody, the Bears O line sucks.
Yeah, he was our first rounder this year. Is
Doing
this
better
going
than
to be a
our
first sack?
doing
No,
better than
yeah, we
our
got
first
second at it.
rounder.
Yeah,
Mozzie Smith, he hasn't done shit for the Cowboys.
what's he play?
D tackle, but he
Oh,
hasn't gotten
okay.
any. He hasn't gotten any playing time over Armstrong, Odigizua, Jonathan Hankins. Like, yeah, he's just a
Yeah, your
waste
D
of a pick.
tackle room is like kind of stacked though.
Yeah, I mean Hankins will be gone after this year, but still, it was a waste of a pick. They should have picked a lineman.
Man, I miss Hankins. He was such a good player for us.
Cleveland at Indianapolis. Cleveland knocking off the previously undefeated San Francisco 49ers. And I had some 49ers fans commenting on one of my videos saying, like, oh, they beat the 49ers without McCaffrey and Debo Samuel. Yeah, they beat y'all with their backup quarterback and their backup running back. So there's no excuse for that. Just a good team victory by Cleveland. They squeaked it out late against San Francisco and got lucky with their kicker missing.
Yeah,
And that doesn't mean that Cleveland is better than San Francisco because I think Indianapolis is going to win.
I'll go roll Cleveland. I think
Uh,
that defense is a little bit too good for Indianapolis.
I mean, Zach Moss and still playing good, even with them having Jonathan Taylor back. They got to get Taylor rolling, but it looks like Anthony Richardson's going to be out for the season now. Man, imagine if they had those two good running backs and a really good running quarterback. Man, you would always have to stack the box against them, and the Colts would be throwing it all the way downfield if they had like a good
Yeah,
speedy receiver. That's going to be interesting next year when Anthony Richardson's healthy.
true. But with that, like Cleveland's just be one of like the best teams in the NFL right now. They're gonna be high on that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think they're going to be so high. I think they're going to be like how San Francisco was, coming in feeling hot as shit, and then go down in flames. That's kind of how I see it playing out. This game, I know we're not going to have a split decision on. Buffalo at New England.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Buffalo, by how much? I'm going 28.
I'm going 35-0.
I was thinking 35, honestly. And I was like, I'll be a little conservative and say 28.
I think it's gonna be their second game not scoring a touchdown.
Yeah. I'd be their third, actually,
Will be there.
because they didn't score a touchdown against Dallas. They got shut out against New England. And then
New
or
Orleans
against
beat.
yeah, New Orleans. So yeah, this one be their third.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Washington at New York. This game I actually think is going to be really good. Who knows if the Giants will end up having Daniel Jones back. Tyrod Taylor didn't play bad. He missed some reads against Buffalo, but I mean they hung in there. Their defense played really good. That kind of says more about Josh Allen than it does the Giants defense, though. Sam Howell still has been very good for Washington. it's a tough game to predict, and it's a win that both teams need if they want to stay in the wild card race. I'm rolling with Washington because I think they're the better team, and I think Sam Howell is the better quarterback. But the Giants do have Saquon Barkley back, and I think he'll have a good game against Washington, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Washington as well. I think Washington has a better talent,
Yeah.
but Chase Young needs to step up for Washington defense because he's been pretty much a stinker.
He sucked the last couple years.
He had a really good like monster rookie year, and after that, it's been downhill.
Yeah, ever since he tore his ACL. Yeah,
Yeah,
he Atlanta at Tampa Bay. The only two games Tampa has lost has been to the Eagles and Detroit. So Tampa is not a bad team. They're just losing to the really good teams. Atlanta has a very big quarterback issue with Desmond Ritter. He cost them a game against Washington. And they also did not get their two really good running backs going with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Give me Tampa to win because Tampa's the way better team.
give me Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield. Baker's gonna cook that Atlanta Falcons defense.
Yeah. They've lost two games to two of the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, you can't honestly. It was expected.
Hmm.
And can't really be that mad because they're better, like the best teams in the NFL right now. But even though those games, they're still kind of respectable. Besides their 6 point game, but still, I love this Baker Mayfield revenge tour.
Hmm. This is an interesting matchup right here. Detroit at Baltimore. Detroit just coming off beating Tampa Bay, as we previously alluded to. Baltimore just picked up an ugly win. So they're going to be coming off the London schedule, actually, because for some reason teams don't get a bye week after they play in London now. Uh,
That's so
this,
stupid.
yeah, this smells like a Detroit victory to me.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to curse stop Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, Detroit, they have a reason to be confident because they are one of the best teams in the NFL. They're arguably, well, not arguably, they are a top three team in the NFC. And you could argue them being top two if you favor them over Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a hard conversation to have because Philadelphia has a high power offense and
Yeah, but
yeah,
there's,
monstrous defense. But at the same time, it's also a very exploitable offense that defense can exploit.
well, then they have a turnover issue right now. Jalen Hurts has 7 interceptions through 6 games and a fumble. He's had three of them against the Jets and lost them the game. Jared Goff hasn't had that problem.
I know he's Jared Goff's been fucking accurate as hell.
The main thing the Lions, their biggest issue has been injuries. Now, this game, it's going to look like two kids fighting in a sandbox. It's going to be very ugly. Pittsburgh at LA Rams. Let's see if the Fire Canada's travel all the let's see if the Fire Canada chants travel all the way to the West Coast because I think Aaron Donald is gonna bull rush the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, and I think the Rams are gonna pick up the victory.
Does Cooper Cup win?
Yeah,
Yeah, they got Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua, I think his name.
yeah.
Like two like the better like receivers right now.
Hmm.
Oh, that Matt Stafford's old, but he's still accurate as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me LA. Aaron Donald's going to eat that offensive line up, and this should be the game that fires Canada.
They ain't gonna do it because the Pittsburgh Steelers have some weird high horse about not firing coaches. They need to, dude. But they're also, I mean, Cincinnati's on the rebound. The Browns are good. The Ravens are good. Somebody's got to finish last in that division. So at this
Yeah,
point, they might be keeping Canada on just to tank.
yeah. At this point, it's like they might as well just tank. But Mike Tomlin, he's arrogant as hell. He's going to want to win the season.
Yeah. My bold prediction for this game is I think Tyler Higbee scores,
He hasn't scored
and
yet.
I think he has. I think he scored one. He's on my fantasy team. Well, actually, no, I just got rid of him. Actually, now that I think about it, I got rid of him for Jake Ferguson. But I mean, the thing with fantasy football is if you don't have Travis Kelsey, you don't have a good tight end.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next game. Arizona at Seattle. And Seattle, they're sneaky good. Like you don't pay much attention to them, but they haven't been really bad all year. And Arizona's been very shocking. But it looks like James Conner is hurt now, and Josh Dobbs probably had one of his least impressive performances of the season thus far. So I'm gonna roll with Seattle here.
Battle between the two birds.
Hunter, you know birds
There's
aren't real.
yeah. What am I saying? Like birds work for the government. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Um,
Go.
I mean, Arizona without James Conner is like that's like 2/3 of their offense gone.
Mhm.
And at that point, like I have to go with Seattle. Like Seattle has to have a much healthier roster.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking earlier about Detroit being a top three team in the NFC. Seattle's arguably a top four. Um, it's, back and forth between them and the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, but Dallas shouldn't have been in that conversation. It should have been like top three at least.
Yeah.
But your little coaching status kind of questionable.
In this next game, I think it's going to be easy to predict. Green Bay at Denver. I ain't never picking Denver to fucking win.
Oh,
I mean, they are coming off a well rested week since they played on Thursday, but Green
yeah.
Bay, I think, is coming off a bye, so that honestly doesn't matter.
And Green Bay hasn't been that good. But at
I
the
mean,
same
Jordan,
time, they're going against like the worst defense in the league right now.
it's definitely a good get right game for Jordan Love after throwing all those interceptions against the Raiders.
But I could see him costing the game. This could be a game. For some reason, Jordan Love just doesn't play well against the AFC West.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to go with Green Bay. Denver
Yeah.
just sucks.
Yeah. Los Angeles Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs. Man, every time these two teams play, it's always a game of the year contender. I think Taylor Swift will probably be in attendance for this game, and I think Travis Kelsey's going to ball out. Give me the Chiefs 38-35. Chargers are definitely going to look better this week than they did against the Cowboys. Nobody in that division can really beat the Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs. But the Chiefs defense is the only way they're going to beat you is sacks. But if they can hold up the line, you can beat the Chiefs easy because their Chiefs offensively recently has been inconsistent as hell.
Yeah. Hey, they can't get
Um,
any of their wideouts going.
no, but at the same time, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift. And the
And
only
then
reason that Los Angeles is going to lose is just their head coach. I'm going to have to roll Kansas City. Honestly, 38 to 35 is actually pretty accurate.
this week we got a phenomenal Sunday night football game. Miami at Philadelphia. Philadelphia coming off their first loss of the season. The thing with Miami though, who have they beat? They just beat the 0-6 Panthers. They beat the 1-5 Giants, 1-5 Broncos, 1-5 Patriots, and now the 2-3 Chargers. So this is going to be by far the best team they're facing and by far the best defense they'll be facing. But Jalen Hurts has a turnover issue right now. And who are they going to put against Tyreek Hill? Darius Slay, who's probably about 10 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going with Miami here. Uh,
Man, Philadelphia has that really scary D line, man. And they can overpower that Miami offensive line real quick.
yeah, but if Tua can just get the ball out quickly, I definitely see them running a lot of slants and underneath routes.
Overall, Philadelphia, I think that defense is going to win them that game.
It's in Philly. What's the line on this game? That's probably be a good thing to look at. The line is Philadelphia by 2, over under 52 points. Monday Night Football, 49ers at Minnesota. This game is going to be easy to predict because the Vikings suck. So, sorry, Trevor. Give me the 49ers.
I don't know. We said that last week with the 49ers and but they lost.
Yeah, I don't
But
think they're going to lose twice. And I think the Browns are better than the Vikings.
yeah, give me San Francisco.
Yeah.
And hopefully, for freaking sakes, George Kittle give me at least 10 points fantasy team.
Dude, I don't think he's going to have another game like that this
I
season.
swear to God, if he gives me 1 point again, I'm putting his ass on a trade block.
No one's going to trade you for him, dude. No one's going to
Oh,
trade for a
oh
tight end.
no, no. There's gonna
I
be
can't.
we have a couple stupid motherfuckers in there, all right?
We got a couple inactive motherfuckers in there.
True.
Yeah. But that is this week's NFL Week 7 predictions. They'll be up on Thursday night, probably. By the way, speaking of fantasy football, I can't believe you put the fucking Cowboys on the trade block. Probably the third best defense in the NFC right now, and you put them on the trade
Hey, I
block.
was getting pissed by they almost making me lose the game.
I
My
mean,
game,
that's what defense is like. Your defense isn't going to be what carries you in fantasy. It's always going to be
dude.
your
We
run
I
game.
was already having a tight fucking match already.
Yeah. At least you didn't get
I
your
still
ass
had me.
whooped.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Mine was a little more respectful than yours.
Yeah. But I was also playing the dude who's in like second place in our league, I think.
But no, where I took him off the trade block since he
All
got me at
right.
least 4 points.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, dude, that's a defense you don't let go of.
I know I got two good defenses with Short Lions and Dallas.
Yeah. But this week, I don't have to worry about anything because but everybody, that's this edition of the Trainwreck Podcast. Thank you for listening. I still suck at reminding everyone that we are now available on Apple and Spotify. So if you could leave a 5-star rating on both of those as well. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe because last time I checked, we are 7 away from 500. So I wanted to get to 500 by the end of the year, and we got about 2.5 months to spare. It's going to be interesting after football season to see how my channel progresses because, I mean, me being funny right now is what's carrying me. I think you did over the 10,000 people over the last 2 days that checked out all my shorts. And
Yeah, thank
if
you for
you,
that one Chargers fan that commented and make sure just remind us there's Chargers fans.
yeah. And shout out to the Chargers fan that was on TV last night because I made a video about her and it did. I actually didn't expect it to do anything, but I wanted to make sure I had something to post today. And um, yeah, thanks for the cheese, lady. Pat McAfee might have helped me on that one though because he had her on the show today. So I bet
Shout
you
out to
my video,
Pats.
yeah. Shout out to Pat, man. That's one dude. Out of anybody in sports, McAfee's like top 3 people I'd want to hang out with, especially just to sit around, drink beer with him, you know?
You can do a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. McAfee's McAfee's so fucking cool, dude.
Honestly.
But yeah, thank you everyone that made it this far. It's gonna be on the shorter end, but we also didn't have a third person this week. Zach will probably be on next week, and if he's not, then uh maybe I shouldn't have joked about him being dead. But I don't know if there's ever a week. Well, heck, the one time we missed extended time on this podcast is because I was close to dying when I was sick, and we missed like a whole month. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything ever happens, I'll write in my last will for to give Drew my passwords. He can have the
My
password of my
browser
YouTube.
history.
He can have the passwords to my YouTube channel, my Pornhub account, my OnlyFans.
Oh man, you're a dog for that.
Yeah. I'll even give you the password to my Tinder.
Oh, I can pull it off. I just get a fake widow like yours.
Just as long as
Here.
you never meet in person.
Yeah,
But
true.
no, delete my Tinder messages if I die. Peace, love, and hand jobs. See y'all next week. Bye.
Whoa!